Good afternoon, everyone. We're lucky today to be accompanied by my very good friend, and he's a member of our board of trustees, Mr. Gautam Sen Gupta. And hi, everyone. Hi, Gautam.
Hi.
And we have one trademark that is across everywhere in our team. We have really a charismatic smile on our faces. So whenever you're gonna see any of us, we're smiling. Except now, Gutam's smile is prevailing over mine for my video to shut me down. But anyway, today is summer one, last day. Let's call it the ceremonials. What we want to do is do a wrap up with the activities. And Gutam joined us today because he's got one dimension that he is going to propose that's going to take us all later with. But let me take it quickly through some of the things, some of the activities that we went and why the logic of it. COVID-19 made it difficult for a lot of companies to take interns, which made it more difficult to universities to provide internship training for students, which made it very impossible for students to graduate without internship training. So we had to do something of a great magnitude that actually would afford the opportunity for every intern to take advantage of and to graduate. So what we have done is we created what we call the Smart Internship that became now under the Champion Center for Career Development, where all internship training is going to take place and takes place. So what we have done is we provided 8 weeks of training in summer one that starting the fall, it's all going to be 16 weeks. We're no longer going to take 8 weeks for a good reason. One, it's not a good enough time to completely, develop the culture, the mindset of the future of work, and then put it to work, execute it. So summer two was continuing with us. Summer two will take an advantage of that later. And for those who are rejoining us back in the fall, we'll also get the advantage of that. For those who's going to start, they're going to start fresh on the 16 weeks basis. So we had to create this opportunity to create an advantage for universities, students, and companies who are unable to really take on students. And unfortunately, we have seen number of companies that canceled internship training for students that were previously approved because of the COVID, unfortunately. And it's not letting go anytime soon anyway. So what we wanted to do is simulate through this training the real world of work, okay? But virtually, with the new twist or the new culture of the future of work, how things is gonna evolve with everything that is gonna take place. So what we wanted to do is, I want you to imagine one thing. If you go to, if a guest comes up into your house and ask for a cup of coffee, do they tell you how to make the cup of coffee, or they just ask you for a cup of coffee? If you go to a restaurant and ask for a cup of coffee, do you tell the attendee that how to make the coffee, or just ask for the coffee? Naturally, you ask for the coffee, but you don't tell them how to make it. So the same culture, the same mindset, when you walk into a business, you go into a business for a new hire, they're not going to show you how to do things. They expect you to do things, okay? With some guidance, with some twist, to help you, but they're not going to tell you how to do it. So a lot of students that I have seen it through this course or this work placement, this is not training. This is a work placement. This is when you apply. This is how you apply it for it. So you're not expecting us to train you, because that training already took place at your college. Here when you come to the work placement, you are expected to know at minimum how to do things, how to start things. Okay, so it was a little tricky for some people when we started with this journey of the work placement. Okay, so now think of it. You are giving a task. I need a cup of coffee, or I need a meal. You are expected to do it. Okay, now when you do it and it doesn't come out good, you get the recommendation of really how to do it, improve it better. And I have seen a notable change in a lot of you, especially with the designs. Some of the designs in the early stages, we started tweaking it until actually it came out to look relevant. It has a message, it has a purpose that is connected to what was intended. And and most of you did a fabulous work. Okay, of course, not everybody is meant for success. A lot of us need some help, some push sometimes, more polishing sometimes, to make things happen all the time. So let's walk it through some of the key things that we wanted to do through this summer one internships that started on May 30th, and we concluding today, the last day. We're late 1 week because of the week holidays that we lost. And actually, we took it a little easy on you guys this week to make sure that you get started with the fun of it while we're still working hard for you. And what we wanted to do in the training, what was intended to do, okay, is to start orienting you to the mindset of the future, the new business normal that most businesses don't even have. So now you have an extra value, an extra talent that most businesses are not getting from existing employees, or most hire other employees that be competing for the same opportunities of yours. Because most businesses to this day still searching for how to really evolve to the new culture of work, because they are still resisting what we call the new normal. They're trying to get us to get back everything to the old normal, and it's not going to happen. And when we published a number of articles, companies, internet companies like Amazon, Google, Facebook, Uber, they're all struggling to get employees back to office. Employees found a better advantage, be more productive online, working from home, than they would go to offices. And they're trying to create incentives for them. 20% of your time at the office, and the rest is at work. They're refusing. And it makes sense why they're refusing. And for businesses, they're trying to create a rationale for occupying or reusing offices that spend millions on it. They're paying a lot of rents. They own real estate that people don't want to occupy because it's more, and that's a culture COVID created for everybody. And it's actually it's an environment that has a lot of values, because right now it helps people to have a social life. Okay, I'm not pressed to stay on the road for 2-3 hours between jobs, to go back and forth to commute to my work placement. So what we wanted to do is create that culture, oriented to that culture, and to provide you the channels, that the new culture that basically is to now you have no excuse not to understand how everything else works. Okay, because in the new culture of the new normal, you are expected now to be oriented, or to know how everybody else think, of other skills, of other talents, different environments works. That is critical. And this value that we are giving you this summer, in this session that you completed, is an extreme employability element that you couldn't acquire it somewhere else to this day. And now you can show something that nobody else can have. Okay. The second thing that we try to accomplish for you is to create a freedom to allow creativity, to let go of creativity. So what we wanted to do is our aim basically is to have that open-minded, friendly environment where we're letting you go. We're letting you go all out with your ideas, and we've encouraged you to actually put your ideas to work. The way the things, how you see things out, and actually what we did is we pushed you to chaos. Just like when you walk into a new office. So I remember in my first day in school, when I was 6 years old, I was taken by my grandma to school. This was in Kuwait, and I didn't want to go to school. I wasn't comfortable. Everything was new, scary for me. So she was forced to sit in the back of the class with me, waiting for the whole school session to end. And found the family looking for my grandma, and found there's this old lady sitting in the back of a class with a bunch of kids in the class. So this is a chaos. And this environment is chaotic to people when they're thrown into something that they are not accustomed to. We had to do that because when you go to a new place of work, it is not mom and dad's place. It is a wild place. And remember, I always tell you, the minute you walk in, you are overwhelmed by everybody's demands, requests. The boss wants you now, has been looking for you. Where have you been? You think it's disorganized, but this is a human nature. You are called for immediate meetings. That's a human nature because things pops up. You don't think this is not like a classroom. Everybody, this is not like, for example, you have a schedule. This is a meeting. This is what everybody has to meet. In business, it does not work that way. You have to be ready and expect what you don't even know. Okay, and be ready to jump to action. You're not giving the chance to think about it. Businesses don't work at your leisure. You are working at the leisure of the decision makers at the business, which aligns with the rising emergencies, with the critical issues, with the solutions that has to be found. If you go to a hospital emergency room, what do you think? They're telling the doctors you expect emergency patients to walk into your emergency room between this hour and this hours. The rest of it, don't ignore them. This doesn't happen. But they are standing by. So if you need we had to walk you through the culture to be ready to stand by for action all the time. It is not programmed. It is not scheduled. So this is something that we did during that training, and I'm sure you can understand some of what I'm talking about with here. And what we did is we removed also management. We didn't force you to say this. This is how I want you to do things. What we did is we told you what we needed to be done and let you free to do it the way you think is best. And I like some of the comments that some of you didn't appreciate the chaos that we've created, but they said something that's really intrigued me. That pushed me to think hard to figure out how to do it. This is why this was given. This is why we created this, because now you are independently able to think on your own how to solve things. And this is what we wanted you to do in the first place. We took supervision away to make sure that you are not monitored. We're gonna add some supervision and time control because some of the students of the interns got lost with it, or some others took advantage of it. Later, we're gonna how do you call it? Regulate that a lot more to make sure there's more discipline provided in place. But what we wanted to do is you to feel comfortable and free to think and act. And most of you acted extremely responsible and they were that made, and we saw creativity level being boosted, shined beyond our even expectations. And what we wanted to do is focus on building leadership qualities in all of you. We emphasize collaboration. If you notice how we did that on a department level, on a project level, to show empathy. I like that. And we encouraged you to have more engagement. So everyone, and I really enjoyed the empathy every one of you showed me, showing me how you like the stuffs. Thank you. We appreciate what you're doing, and I love the way you guys has been really showing appreciation to everybody and supporting each other. A lot of you took it on themselves to help others with their work, and some of you has actually went beyond supporting other in the team. Some of you looked at it as their own responsibility to make sure that the team succeeds entirely, and took it upon themselves to do the teamwork that actually made them shine as leaders. And those are being selectively by us right now, because to come back to them with the proposals and things that, because they deserve a leadership recognition for the great jobs that they took upon themselves to be responsible. Group thinking, the feedback that we started giving for each other. Manage yourselves and set priorities. It was okay to make mistakes. These are some of the things that was very important, because we encouraged you to do everything possible without worrying being held accountable or responsible. Our responsibility only to succeed together, but not for failing to make mistakes, to hold each other responsible. And when you think and act freely, this is part of the qualities of leadership, because now you're encouraging others. Now you know to become a leader is you have to let people to think and become free. And the other things is to always how to connect the dots, think relevancy for everything, and how to discover opportunities. These are the leadership's qualities that we worked very hard during those 8 weeks to make sure that we bring the best out of you. And those qualities are really there within you. And most of you I have acquired that, and a lot of you had it in them, but they probably didn't know it as well. And what we want to do is we focus on building characters. You remember, we noticed it is not I, it's we. Our focus is on the creativities. We didn't tell you, this is why we didn't tell you how we want a design done. We just suggested what we wanted to do, and then work together and to create your ideas and modify those ideas, focusing on motivation, inspiration, human aspiration to discover opportunities, develop passion for whatever you do, and help others be passionate with you, care for others, to think providing values, teams and group supports for whatever you do, maintain confidence, bring out the best of qualities of the people that people appreciate. And I love the way the two ways road that you guys played, give and take. You supported each other's in a phenomenal way. But this is what you're going to be employed for when you go to the workplace. You're not going to be employed for the skills you learned in college or the technical skills that you've implemented here for using the platform. You're going to be employed for how you're going to push any workplace environment. Go ahead. How to really push people to action. How do you excite people? How do you lead people? How do you build teams? And we all talk about it, but we didn't know how to do it. But now you know how exactly could be done, on what basis to be done. And you all executed it perfectly. Nice. So the outcome was everything we did is to two things. One, how to create relevancy for everything, to your jobs, to your skills, to your career, to your education, to become relevant to everything, including the future. Now you are valuable. This is what we aimed to accomplish with you in the past 8 weeks. And we're going to have more on-ground exercises in the coming theaters, and especially with those who are continuing with us in summer 2 and in the fall, inshallah. So what we aim to do is to to let you free from all the things that actually held you back in the past. We use when I graduated college, I realized that I wasn't studying for myself. I was studying for my parents. They wanted me to graduate college and go for education and have that degree so I can hang it on the wall and tell everybody, hey, I've got a bachelor's, I've got a master's, I've got a PhD. I didn't know what to do with it. And my career driven me to somewhere else. Luckily, now I'm using some of the basics that we're dealing with you. So what is important basically is to discover what is your best thing to do next. And now you know what is the best thing to do next. And I loved a lot of the feedback that came from you. That now I know I can be a leader somewhere in my future. That's the confidence. That's a success benchmarks. What I can say for ourselves and what we did for an accomplishment. If we did nothing except for helping one person, we did a great job. But imagine when we have over 80% success with all of you, that's a phenomenal job. Okay? And the reasons why we did this, okay, is basically to let you go to places that you didn't think you can go before. Now you know how to actually go everywhere, blend everywhere, interact, build social networks, communities, connect and engage with people that will show you the world that you are the one, you are it. Okay, remember some of the slogans we did? And you are it. You are an ambassador of yourself before you are an ambassador of anything else. Now you know how better to present yourself, the qualities that you can make, and what you've learned in this 8 weeks is what makes up 85% for your career success. It is not what you studied that will make you successful. It is what you learned, you acquired in this past 8 weeks that will show the world that you are different character, you are a personality. And companies hire characters. Leaders aren't hired for how good they are as an engineers. Leaders are hired for how well they are capable to lead people, manage people, create opportunities, manage it through, communicate with the communities, with the world, and be able to pass across those positive messages and morale boosting across the community of his business aboard. And with this, I stop and let my colleague Gautam to bring in what's under his hat. Go ahead, Gautam. You're on.
Right. Thank you, Abid. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, lovely. I'm delighted to be here with you, students of higher colleges of technology. But I come with one disadvantage. As much as I know who you are, the disadvantage is that you don't know who I am. So a little introduction before I go on to what I wanted to talk to you about, which is let's create internship opportunities, new internship opportunities together. So to tell you a little bit about myself, my name is Gautam Sengupta, as Dr. Abid Baidas introduced me. I am a member on the board of trustees of Talents of Endearment, which is why I'm here speaking with you today. But to give you an understanding of where I come from in industry, I have worked with a corporation called the Tatas, the House of Tatas in India and in the UAE for an 18-year period. I've then been an entrepreneur, and I continue to be an entrepreneur in Dubai with a skills training academy in India and with a research and consulting company in Dubai. Now, I've been following with Dr. Abid Baidas what's been happening, with your internship program, that we've been conducting. And I was greatly excited because, over my career span, I've seen much of internships. I mean, I have undertaken internships myself as a student, but even later in my life, I've been responsible for a lot of internships. But what I figured in my mind was that hey, those were all physical internships. And what it meant was training on the shop floor, training in a corporate office, training on sales travels, etc., etc. But I'd never seen and done and actually experienced an online internship program. And so I was, in a sense, taken aback and then extremely excited because I found that you people involved so beautifully in that online program, way beyond my imagination. And the even better part that I appreciated even more is that you came out, of course, smelling of roses, as Abid says, but you also came out very happy. And a lot of you have said that you would like to continue to do internship, etc., etc. And so I said, there is probably value in speaking with you and talking about how we could create new internship opportunities together. Now, before that, I'm just going to take you back for a moment to what you have just done with us in Talents of Endearment in your online internship. What you've done is you formed groups. Now, those groups have been, say, Talents of Endearment, say, Mike Salisbury Fellowship, say, the 20X program. And then within your groups, you made sure that you had talents of different natures available for each group to be able to utilize. Somebody with a strength or a love for finance, somebody from the marketing area, somebody from social media, somebody from human resource, somebody from IT. And you meshed all your skills together in order to be able to contribute to your group, which had a common theme, as I mentioned, the Mike Salisbury program, as an example. Now, what you did with your groups and the teams that you had synergized and put together was that you produced logos, you produced videos, you produced posters. So you produced products by virtue of the strengths that you had within your teams and which were relevant to the group that you were actually supporting, or, for lack of a better word, aiming towards, like the Mike Salisbury program. And this is the future. What you did in terms of the online interning is the future, because all of us here, all of us know about how the world has become so much more online. So many more things are happening online than they were 10 years ago. And then, of course, there was the huge fillip that was provided by our current COVID pandemic, where we are talking online grocery, online medicine, of course, online restaurant food, online reservations, online banking, etc., etc. But let's forget about all that for a moment. Let's just forget about that. Let's look at what constituted your online internship. To my mind, there are three things that constituted your online internship, and that is one, you. You were the core. You were the student who became the intern. And you came from an ecosystem which was what I call number two, the facilitator. Your academic institution, which is higher colleges of technology. So at the core, we had you as an intern, as an individual, as a human being. Enveloping you was your academic microsystem, the higher colleges of technology, as the facilitator for the process, because you came to us through the HCT system. And enveloping higher colleges of technology, which is the facilitator, is what I will call the workplace environment. And that workplace environment is what was provided by us, by Talents of Endearment. Why do I say that? Because whether you call it the Mike Salisbury program, or you call it the 20X, or you call it the Ibn whatever, etc., etc., they were all programs that are promoted by Talents of Endearment, Identity Branding Forum. And so the last envelope was the workplace environment that was provided by Identity Branding Forum. Now, if you look at these three elements that I've identified for you, one, you, the intern, two, the facilitator, the academic institution, HCT, and three, the workplace environment, you will note that two of these three elements are constants. You are a constant, you're a student, you're an individual. Your academic institution is a constant, HCT. You are not from, say, SP Jain or from KIC or IIM. You're from HCT. So these are two constants. But what can vary for each core, which is each you, is the workplace environment that you work in, that you intern in. And I say to you that you come from the academic institution, and the academic institution in turn interacts with the workplace environment. Like in this case, HCT interacted with Talents of Endearment and then brought you back into the picture through the facilitator, which is the academic institution. And that is how every internship program works. There are these three elements. There are you, the intern, the facilitating academic institution, and the workplace environment. Now let's look at what kind of workplace environments do we have? Where are the opportunities for internship that one can look at? One is government. If you look in the UAE, you have the municipalities, you have the civil defense departments, you have the departments of economic development, etc., etc., etc. You have the ministries. These are all governmental in one silo, let's say. The governmental department opportunities for providing you with a workplace environment. Then there's the semi-government. And within that, I can tell you from the Dubai context, very familiarly, TCOM, Dubai Design District, in the Abu Dhabi environment, Kizad, etc., which are semi-government bodies, which have a huge component of the government, but they're not quite the same as government departments like the Department of Economic Affairs. The third workplace environment can be provided by a multinational corporation, what we call MNCs. Now there, of course, we are talking about the Unilevers, the Nestles, the Mondelez, the Tatas, etc. And then you have the local families, the large local families, which are in a position to provide jobs and employment, and therefore a workplace environment. The Al Fahim Group, the Al Futtaim Group, the Al Ghurair Group. Now, if you note, all these four that I've mentioned to you, government, semi-government, MNC, and local business family, yes, they all constitute workplace environments, but they're completely distinct from each other. They're completely different workplace environments. And you have two more. You have the private mid to large company, say a restaurant chain, say a hotel or a hotel chain, say a hospital, say a chain of pharmacies. And then finally, you have the SME. Many of you will be familiar with the Dubai Internet City. Now, the Dubai Internet City has, I think today, about 1,500 companies registered operating within it. Those are all SMEs. Those are small companies. They're private businesses, nowhere near the size and scope of a restaurant chain or, forget it, an Al Futtaim group, etc. But they do have the potential to provide you with workplace environment opportunities. Now, having understood that these are the potential workplace environments in which we could find new internship opportunities, we go back to our two constants. The two constants being one, the higher colleges of technology, in your instance, as an academic institution. And I say to you that that constant, HCT, is already familiar with a large number of these workplace environments. Why? Because they've interacted in the past. Some or the other workplace environment, which means some company or government department, etc., has sponsored a chair, let's say, in one department in HCT, or has sponsored a scholarship, let's say, for students of some nature in HCT, or have provided internship opportunities in the past. So there is a body of workplace environments which your constant HCT is already familiar with and which we could tap into with ease. But the other constant, you, also has access to a large number of workplace environments. And these may be, in very limited instances, through past internships that you've done. But far more than those past internships is relationships that you have on a social platform with your family, with your friends, with friends of your families, etc., etc., etc. So you have access to say, large business families in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, in Ras Al Khaimah, wherever it be, or you have access to, through a friend, into a Nestle, and you know someone there. What I thought it would be sensible to do, to think of, is that in all these workplace environments, and I am now focusing on you as the constant, which can identify opportunities within workplace environments that you are able to access through your family, through your friends, etc. All these workplace environments have some requirement which can actually be satisfied by a team of interns. They may want to look at how to open up a whole new market for their product locally. Say, increase their market range to include children in the age 8 to 12 years. How do you do that? You have a product, you're not changing your product, or you're marginally changing your product. How do you quickly access that new market and actually get into it? How do you do a market entry which is a successful exercise and in quick time, efficient? A team of interns is going to be able to help them determine how to do that, as long as that team of interns is guided well, mentored well. It could be new product design. It could be new markets overseas. Why only in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and in the rest of the UAE? It could be, how do you open up the market in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? It could be, how do we open up the market in the Sultanate of Oman? And so there are these opportunities that are waiting out there within companies operated by family and friends. And I say that only as something that comes to my mind, because that is a route for you to be able to access the workplace environment. And then we can use these opportunities to actually create meaningful internships of value to you as a constant, of value to the corporation that you identify as the workplace environment. And what Dr. Abid Baidas and I were thinking is that then provides us with an opportunity to actually identify and get into new internship opportunities together. You initiate the process by forming a team of like-minded students, and therefore forming a group that determines and says, we are the 5, 4, 6, 8, 10 people who would like to team up and do this kind of exercise, where we identify internship opportunities in the market on our own. We guide that process. You then actually focus and finally hone in on one workplace environment, one company, one government department, with an identified and clearly articulated opportunity for internship. And then you go through the internship process through them. So you have, in effect, created an opportunity for yourself, help that company determine and do something which is of meaning and value. And at the end of the day, you come out smelling of roses, because you've done something which very few people, I'll tell you this, have ever done in the arena of internship that I am familiar with. Abid, I'd be delighted to, if there'd be any questions or whatever. I hope I've got my point across to the students.
Perfectly well, Gautam, and to confirm why this is important, what you're saying, let me share one piece of great news. Now our program is recognized as very highly at the government level, at the federal level, and in Abu Dhabi. Yesterday, we received the first inquiry from one of the agencies in Abu Dhabi, Commission of Environment, asking us to provide them trained, qualified interns.
There you go.
Based on our system.
There you go.
And what you are saying, basically, it will help interns develop opportunities, one for themselves. Why this is for themselves, for you? Because now companies, new companies that you are targeting, without having you to go and apply for a job, you are just telling them, we want to approve you for internship training for students with us to test your products in the market, to validate your business, to validate your brands. So now you're creating your own focused value with the business that you're targeting without having you apply to them for a job there. And this is working smart. This is positioning yourself in that market with the businesses or the companies that you are targeting without having to ask them. Here you are in advance showing them what you can do as a valued character, a person with personality and leadership, that I can help you I can help your business look great, be loved, be appreciated in the market. And through the platform what we have, and this is what some of the things that we are considering in the next couple of days to add is for the fall internships, that every students or will be able to create their own group. Okay, so you can start actually creating your own career ecosystem, businesses, teamworks, like creating your own groups to start thinking together, working together on your own opportunity, and take that opportunity to the businesses that you are targeting in your area or somewhere around in the country. And these values, this is what this Career Labs brings you, creates for you something that saves you time, resources, and it create for you the opportunities that you probably never dreamed of. Now you can take your future as fast as you want to, not as fast as anybody would have it to. Now, any questions in the group? Any questions? Okay, let's keep all the comments in English, please, so good time can understand them.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
And closing here, I want to thank you. Thank you for working hard. Thank you for.
I'm in a Zoom meeting.
Thank you for being the value, and actually, you gave us a lot of energy, and you taught us a lot. And this is something we will cherish for a long time. You actually made us look good. Okay, so because of your hard work, your dedication, you made us be identified for the value that we can bring across the board. That now we are being asked to provide some of the talents that we have graduated with us or through us. But we want to work together also to expand that, to make sure that we are bringing every business possible and every students possible the opportunity to benefit out of this program, because the future is changing. It is not the way we thought it's going to be 5-10 years ago, or even 2 years ago. We woke up in January, February of 2020. Things are completely dismantled from the way we are accustomed to it to what it is today, and we are forced to actually adapt to it, enjoy it, and actually it's much better. But if we think how to use it right, we gave you the tools, and thank you for the opportunity that you afforded us to work together with you. And for those who are continuing with us, thank you for trusting your career in our hands, because we're trusting everybody with our future. As Talents of Endearment Career Labs, Gautam's future, my future, everybody's hopes, inshallah. You're all wonderful people. You've got what it takes to be the leaders, and I have seen some of your testimonials. Some of you seen themselves are able to start their own businesses, and this is a great feeling that that you gave us, to know that we gave you to believe in yourself, that you can be something more than anybody could expect it of you, because you've got what it takes. Just look in the mirror and you have all the help that you need. You don't need anybody else except you. Inshallah. Keep that passion, keep that relationship, keep that inspiration, and we are here to help you anytime. Whether you continued or did not continue with us, we are here to help you. Keep that in your mind. Keep us in your prayers, your good wishes, your best of hopes. for you as well, to your family, to your loved ones, to this country, to humanity that we are here to serve all together. Inshallah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Gautam.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.